Jamendo.com. Hi guys, welcome.
Okay, hello guys, thank you for joining us again on another segment of our video on your way to grad school. So today we'll be talking about okay guys, in this video we'll talk about the statement of purpose, which is one crucial about this year, about this boy that they probably thought 6 years ago. They can't remember, so they will just write something. But if you sit with them and if they already have your statement of purpose, that will juggle much of their memory. You say that, oh wow, they will say that yes, I remember this student, and then they can tailor their letter.
How are you?
I'm good. You want to do the intro?
Hi everyone, so you're welcome again, and today we're going to talk about recommendation letters. Recommendation letters are a very significant part of the application process. Now, your application in general, like not one document is more important than the other. So every document is important because the application process is it's holistic, right? So everything you submit is equal and it's important. This is why you need really good recommenders or referees, people that will recommend you. They'll recommend your academic achievements, your leadership qualities. They will recommend you to the admission committee. So before we move on, I just want to say that it's important for you to first check the application deadline of the school that you're applying to, especially of the department. So application deadlines differ according to departments. So check the application deadline, and once you're sure of the application deadline, ensure that you start your application early. So if the deadline is in December and you did your research maybe around June and the application begins in August, ensure that in August you open the application, like you log in or create an account and start filling the application form, right? And then when you start filling the application form, you begin to see different things that are required. And one of those things is the recommendation letter. So usually you need to have 3 recommendation letters from at least three referees. Some people have, more than 3 referees, 4, 5 referees, but you should have at least 3 referees. And yeah, so I think I'll just ask Kayode, like, what are some of the things that you think someone should take note of, when they are choosing their referees, and what are the things that should be included in the recommendation letter?
Okay, thanks Mosun for that question. So I really love that you mentioned that admissions are assessed holistically. So when applications are assessed holistically. So when you apply, it's not just about your CGPA, it's not just about your test scores, it's not just about, oh, I have a great writing sample. Everything counts equally. So, and everything is supposed to work together to form a coherent narrative about you as an individual. And that brings me to the question of recommendation letters should be very consistent with every other aspects of your application. So if in your writing, your statement of purpose, you say something about yourself, and then your recommender says the direct opposite in their own letter, that is a red flag to the admissions committee. They'll be like, so who should we believe? Should we believe the applicant or their recommender? So one good advice I've gotten is send your statement of purpose to your recommenders so that they will understand how you are presenting yourself to this admissions committee, and then they can write letters that will support that narrative of who you are and the things you've done. So basically, recommendation letter is just to find someone who can attest to your ability to succeed in the program. So they usually ask for maybe someone who has taught you before, or someone you have worked with that can attest to your character. Maybe you are a very diligent, hardworking person. And now it usually varies depending on the kind of program. Most academic programs will require academic recommendations. So it will be like people who have taught you, who can attest to your ability to succeed as a scholar or as a researcher. But some professional programs, maybe if you're applying to an MBA, which is a professional master's, it might not necessarily be all former teachers or lecturers that would have to write for you. It could be your former employer, someone that you have worked with, or your former team lead that can attest to, oh, you were a great team player and stuff like that. So the point I'm trying to make is your letters should not contradict other aspects of your application. So you want to ensure that you get people that will write favorable letters for you, because it's possible you ask a lecturer for recommendation letters, and the Nigerian education system, these people have encountered so many students in their life. They can, even if you don't have a relationship, like a personal relationship with them, you graduate maybe 2 years, you go back and you say, sir, write me a recommendation letter. They don't even remember the classes you took with them, right? So except you've built that personal relationship, then they will feel more confident to say good things about you. But if it's just like random generic letter, they will just write it, and then the admissions committee can read that. They will see that this recommender does not really know this applicant, right? Again, that's a red flag. So what am I getting at? Build relationships with people that you know can potentially recommend you. And it's not that it's when you need the letters that you now go and say, sir, please help me send this letter. It's like you don't even respect them, right? So build relationships with your former lecturers. I know it's okay if you are not the outgoing type of person and you don't have a lot of friends among your former lecturer. But even if it's one person that you can say, that you can call on anytime, and that person can maybe get other recommenders for you. Even if that is the case, just make sure that you can reach out to people who have taught you before, or people who can attest to your abilities in other ways. And then it might even require that you will sit with them and say, sir, ma, these are things that please you should try to include in these letters, right? Because again, these people are very busy individuals. They don't have time to start racking their head. Oh, what do I remember about this girl? Oh, about this boy that they probably taught 6 years ago. They can't remember. So they will just write something. But if you sit with them, and if they already have your statement of purpose, that would juggle much of their memory to say that, oh, wow, Moronti, they will say that, yes, I remember this student, and then they can tailor their letters to what you said in your statement of purpose. Well, to cut the long story short, be strategic in choosing your recommenders. Make sure that there are people who will write favorable letters for you, and then work with them. Don't just ask for letters and go and sleep or leave them alone. Work with them. Send them your essays. Tell them, sir, ma, please help me include this so thing in the letter, if you feel like that is going to strengthen your application. I think that's the much I have to say. If Mosun has a few other things, then she will add them.
Thank you so much, Kayode. Like, I think you really responded, right, to things that are quite peculiar to the Nigerian situation, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and I think another thing that's also peculiar to the Nigerian situation that we'll discuss in our next video is how to get your transcript, right? And when to get your transcript.
Right.
So the Nigeria's case is quite peculiar, and you have to get on with it as soon as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to talk about this or discuss this in our next video. Thank you so much for sticking with us.
All right. See you guys.
Bye. See
Bye.
you.